Hey everybody. Today, research and writing class. I think this is for 6 weeks, maybe. Anyway, we already goes almost half hour. Okay, let me try to slide from current. You see that data collection techniques. Last week, just briefly review the last week. Data collection techniques. So, data collection technique is a little bit very difficult area. As you know, yesterday, to decide the president's election for today before. Anyway, nowadays lots of report related for roles, false forecasting is correct or not, what the problem. The most point is there are very closely support rate, but today before yesterday they the output is very clearly so expected result. So what's the problem? These things, why are they biased? Bias, mistake. So how do we escape the bias? The bias is very big problem for forecasting for result. This is related for in business and econ part. It's related, very sensitive investment plan. Simply, I will buy the stock or not, I will buy this gold or not, or sell time. So also I would like to make the money from the investments plan, that is the portfolio. And the other side is the selling and buying time. That is the totally, we say, decision making. To sell, to buy, to invest or not, to move or not, or something. So data collection is very related, escape the bias thing. So there are many kind of tools and ways there, and techniques. So last week we reviewed data collection techniques before data information. Just briefly I say this data means history. And history manipulated data is become information by processing. So there are many kinds of processing techniques. So simply we say the data collection is sampling. Also there are many techniques there, sampling method. Last week we reviewed that. and the data collection, and what is the information, what's the meaning of the data, something like that. So sampling also we review that, and today we will review the data collection techniques. So, as seen, these pictures, first techniques is observations, and interviews, and focus groups. Focus groups, seeing the groups. There are many methodologies to educate the research proposals, goals. And transactional tracking. They are seeing the transaction, the follow. Social media monitoring. There are many kind of social media we have. So the monitoring the social media. And also online tracking. Online tracking is also very powerful techniques, data collection technique. And the surveys. The representative of the surveys is questionnaire. And the forms. So today I would like to introduce you guys to 7 kind of data collection techniques. Okay. First, observation. Oh, before the time. So data collection techniques in research is method of data collection, type of data we did it, tools for data collection, steps in data collection we did it. The challenges in data collection is last around after 1 minute or 1 hour later we will choose review the challenges. Challenges is future study. So this is for data collection techniques in research area. Among them, we will review the data collection techniques. I would like to introduce 7 techniques. First, observations. The observation is the earliest and the most direct data collection techniques is observation. Easiest and the most direct data collection technique is observation. The most common form of observation in the context of data collection involves simply watching. Observation is watching the behavior or action of the subject in a special setting to understand them and record what was observed, what we observed, at least with the watch. Okay? Today's online world, the example of the act of observation can include watching people interact with the products, website, and service in a real time. It's observation. If you visit the department store and then see or watching the customer's action and then correct the data. This is observation. Simply we say watching from the products, website, or services in real-time servicing. The second techniques interviews and focus groups. Interview and focus groups means another direct data collection technique. This is for conducting interviews and focus groups. Focus group is a kind of interview, like conversation, happens in a group of 6 to 12 people. We are correct, 6 to 12 people in a group, and what they have the conversation, and then just see the focus. and they are 6 to just 6, 12 is normally people. They share a common interest and characteristic or need or any issues. The researchers give some theme to them, and then they talking with the conversation. So interview and pokers, and after that, after conversation, they interview each people. The group will have a facilitator present them questions to discuss together. So we give some theme, and then they discuss the theme, and then focus. The aim of having the interview and the focus group discussion is to gain more information and depth of different topics, perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes in an environment where they all come together. So just interview or talking with them, and then later gain the more information and develop the different topics, different ideas, perceptions, beliefs. What is the different concept between peoples? And attitude also. This is for the data collection technique can become focus group template. There are some template there. So the template, the focus group template is very helpful data collection techniques. This is interview and focus groups. And third method, third techniques is transactional tracking. Transactional techniques tracking is a data collection techniques that relies on one's purchase to derive data from. So somebody purchase the products, and then how do they get the products processing? It's tracking, the follow-up, the method, the procedure. Their purchase made by the customer or researcher and sellers can access data from their website and third-party service provider or from their e-commerce in-store point of sale system. So as you know, they are directly access from website. This is offline selling, it means. Or third-party service provider. If I buy some electronic tools, the machine, and then I have something problem or I'm out of order, at that time we ask him for AS, after service. Also the third party service provider is coming, and then they check it. This series of the processing is also data collection. Or the e-commerce in-store point of sale system. So nowadays, as you know, the many developed processing system. This calculate the sales. So e-commerce in store point of sale system. So there are many different branch stores. We cannot control at the same time, but nowadays in the computer, internet can solve the the complex problem with the sale point is different area commerce and trading. Sales things that are corrected one area is a center or control system or something like that. So anyway, the transactional tracking is purchase something and then derive from the data. From there, they can track different forms and amounts of data, lots of data there, and allowing them to create better marketing plans and products, and also target their ideal customers. As you know, nowadays, if you are concerned about your, for example, you are very interested in camping accessories, and then you are looking for or search for camping accessory in Google or any kind of search engines, and then they collect the data. So sometimes you are curious things. If I concern about or interest about the camping accessories, and then lots of spam or the advertisement related the camping accessories. What's the meaning? Sometimes you are very worried about that. It means your actions automatically accumulate data in there. So many companies buying or connected the data collection company. That is the Google style, search engines. We all know that. This is not secret. So sometimes they say it is a legal processing or not, it's arguing the judge. So also I don't have the idea about that, but problem is we are very quickly changes a phrase in the world. So most of them, they watching for my style and my time and my goals and my style, my passion, my concerns, my interesting area. Everything they know it. And then they decide the educated information to me. That's the point. So if you are watching in the YouTube for a documentary, you are a lot of the documents, funny to Everest or almost some Bhutan, almost something very difficult area, you cannot go there. So if you choose the theme or topics in Everest, and then lots of YouTube is such very long line there. So you can very easy to choose your document, your favorite document. This is for transactional tracking method. This is data collection. Nowadays, you know the data mining, big data, and machine learning. Last time I talked to you, this year Nobel Prize getting AI, transaction professors get the Nobel Prize. This is AI. All things is related. So the AI and big data and data mining or the machine learning, everything is related for data collection techniques from transactional tracking. So now you don't worry about that. So you are now having a concern or interest in some area, camping or buying car, and the concern about your clothes and buying any tools, anything. They watch for you, and they getting for your individual favorite or hobbies or interesting, and then they send to your concern about it. This is transactional tracking. This is very common sense nowadays. And next data collection technique is social media monitoring. Social media monitoring is also related transactional tracking. Social media monitoring is a data collection technique similar to transactional tracking, as you know that. However, instead of the customer transaction history, this kind of technique focuses on tracking on social media history and footprint. So social media monitoring is, if you join the Facebook or X and lots of that, and also the Donald Trump elected president Donald Trump have kicked out the Facebook or something very different story there. And the Tesla guys buy some social media and then they change the name to X. There are very many fake, and last time I talked to the alternative fact, something. So social media monitoring is also same data collection techniques. Just very different idea there. Many platforms and businesses use this to track engagement with a different force online to better understand product and service, the interested, as well as the consider important to them. Consider important, that means is your concern. So they know that you are interested and understanding and correct the data. This is automatically monitoring through data collection. From this social media monitoring, businesses can better target their customers. It means we can make the target market, target customers. More appealing and advertisement and more relevant products. It is feedback for marketing plan. And I was college level business and econ major students. There are some groups, strategic experts and producers and marketing guys make some team, and then collection data from the marketing means more salesmen getting the information to contact the salesperson and customers, and then they are feedback to next product improvement or strategy. Nowadays, it's very easy to getting the customer's style and new fashion and trend, and then they adapted the new data to next advertisement and more relevant products. This is for very useful tool, social media monitoring. And the other method is technique is online tracking. Very similar things, but it's a little bit distinguished sorting. Online tracking is another collection technique similar to transaction tracking and social media monitoring. Is online tracking. Unlike the other internet-based data collection techniques, online tracking is more general and can be done on site other than e-commerce or social medias. It means through the cookies. Also meaning the cookies. Everything is related, is copy, not related. Just copy your cookies. Cookie is your data, your concern, your interest is collected online. If you choose, as I said, is I check it camping accessory in the website or some Facebook or Google, anything. They are tracking transaction or my concern, interesting area is automatically follow the online tracking. So through online tracking, data can be collected from marketing campaign, learns through search engine result. You are using the search engine, and the web page advertisement, email campaign, the other place where one's brand can be showcased. As long as it is online, it can be tracked. You cannot escape that. Only the trace there. So you cannot escape this transaction. So sometimes very sad story, but you cannot escape or this information from the search engines, and then you follow them. So successfully carry out the online tracking as a data collection techniques, we need to have a specific software to help them analyze the number and the behaviors of the customers online. But nowadays, don't worry about this one, it's only using the data mining. Also, machine learning means learning curve. This is for a little bit difficult concept there. This time, expert. This is learning curve. This theme is related a little bit at least best level. Sometimes the learning curve is kind of theme in doctor's level dedication area. Very simply, we learn in college level the learning curve this time. First time, the slope is very sharp. This is time, this is effort, almost skill, almost skills or techniques, anything. First time, the slope is very sharp and a little bit not sharp. So this area, delta x or delta y. The increase rate is a little bit decreased. So even if the same time level, the delta x, delta y equals slopes and x1, xy. And for example, this is xn, yn, delta yn, delta xn is also slopes, but this is very big slopes, better than this one. It means you are repeated again and again for expert or skills, techniques, and then the learning rate is very slowly increased. And some point no more increase the techniques or skills. So most company wants to very quickly reach the TN, time N, this area. This is a basic learning curve concept. There are many story or interesting area and research area include this area. So at least master or doctoral levels concerned about this theory is related to human technique and the more rational decision making and automatic and robotics, everything tells or research this learning curve. Very difficult area, but very simple. Oh, it's okay, repeated time, and then I can become an expert, and then I get more money or time base or something. First time you want a restaurant or sushi man. First time you can make the sushi 10 minutes and pass the time and go through the time or repeat the time, and then it takes only 5 minutes. It is expert. This is skills. This is also very basic example of the learning curves. There are many reasons there. Technique, method, or how do we control the human being, and then or more automation. As you know, nowadays is automate make the sushi machine there. So there, the sushi machine is instead of the people, the cookers, and then they check it, the productivity rate. How we calculate the productivity, machine and humans. There are many theory, spread the theory there. So every research start from the data. So among the data collection, now is online tracking. The representative, the online tracking, the data collection technique is survey. Mostly using the survey in the business and econs or social media area, sociology. Survey are one of the most well-known methods of the data collection. Most of the theory or the dissertation using the survey. They are done with questionnaires and can be conducted physically and digitally to collect both quantitative and qualitative data. Last week we already reviewed the quantitative and the qualitative data. So these questionnaires are often inexpensive to create and answers. So making surveys a very accessible options for both research and their correspondence. It means survey is very easy method to data collect. But there are some process. In prisons, polls, they can make it. Who support you? It's a very simple question, but it's not educate the questionnaire. So first time you ask for social statistics. First thing is, are you boy or male, a male or woman, and what is the age range, and then you are support Democratic or Republican or none. And where is you live, urban or city area or something. Most of the population statistics based on the data collection, and then ask directly to who supports you, what the reason, and what is the most important thing to support things. The first is economy, or immigrant problem, or inflation, or some democratic and freedom, or something like that. Now it's past 2 days for the polls. Now some report shows to the result and the reason for Harrison failed the elected there. There are some focus things on the democratic and freedom. But nowadays it's very quickly, real time, for possesses or show the every information and every data. So the elected president, Donald Trump is focused, very sensitive and very emotionally, or some very sticky or some difficult themes they talking about. So now it's very difficult time to election professionals. Okay, anyway, my survey is representative the questionnaire. So commonly surveys are used to correction response about an event or item. Event and item means who supports the president or something. The response corrected can be used as a bias basis for product improvement or decision-making metrics or further studies. So questionnaires, the survey is very powerful tools for your idea. Now, for example, if you are immigrant from Asia or some immigrant from South America, and what is the different idea for next president or social idea, and then compare them. This is very good example for your research. What is the difference between immigrants from Asia and South America? So now, yesterday I read some report. The Hispanic, younger Hispanic is very important decision for false at this time. So maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, there are many reported the reasons. This is survey, using the survey questionnaire. This is good tools for data collection techniques, is the survey. Also, first time these things using from the business and e-commerce. So how do we improve improve the product qualities. How do we improve our rational decision making? This is for very powerful data collection techniques in surveying. So last time I talked to you, decision making is very commonly related to our lives. Every day, every morning, every time, you decide the decision making. Now I'm going to school or not. I don't want to go to school, and more sleeping, or 10 minutes more sleep, or by text, or by my car or something. Anything we make every time, the decision making. So now I give you the topics. Every human being follow the rational one. Every time, everything, you can make the decision by rational or not. This is big issues from the all history. So, for example, if you're going to department store, a little bit cheap products better than online. What is the rational decision making? You using the online or direct offline using? So these things from the business and econs survey system now is enlarged the area in the society, social relationship, everything. The very powerful tools in data collection. The last data collection technique is forms. Similar to survey, form try to gather data through a set of questions. But however, unlike surveys, forms can be more general. Openly, forms are used to gather qualitative data from the subject or a group of subjects. Particularly, they are demographic data or contact details. Forms are also used to get in touch with one's potential clients and get to know them better. Forms mean is very simply using your online banking. So if you using the transfer or wire or any bank system for your checking account or saving account, and then automatically 1 or 2 days later you will receive some questionnaire by forms. So my personal banking is Bank of America, and I used wire transfer to my friends, and then exactly 1 day later they sent the email to me some forms. That is questionnaire, survey form, and then they shows to the screen. It's very simply only 2 minutes question, and it's easy to answer that. And I followed the forms, and then I answered the questions. And the Bank of America getting more detailed customer reputation. And they decide the potential client's service area. And also they using the human being HR, human resources. So also last columns, can you recommend to your customers or some clients or aged person or something? They are collect the data, reputation, and then they are fired by resources. This is for data collection techniques for using the futures, the marketing plan and decision making by relational database. It's very big area in human beings, socials. Okay, let's move to how to make effective use of data collection method. So, when the data collection method comes using the data collection techniques effectively, there are 5 key steps to keep in mind. There are 5 steps there. You see. Method of data collection, 5 steps to keep in your mind. First, identify the audience and types of data to be collected. So first thing is identified. First and foremost, it's very important to define the target audience and determine the specific data. Why I need to collect. This will be allow the data collection techniques to be applicable as possible as to provide the most accurate result. So first step, choose the data collection method is identify. Second key steps for effective data collection method is map the data collection process. Sometimes we say there's a mapping. Mapping is processing data processing mapping. The target audience and data have been determined. If we decide the target audience and plan out of the data collection process and setting up a data collection technique, it is essential to ensure that the method is comprehensive and can account for any data may be missing. So first time you identify the data collection. And second is to map the data collection process. Additionally, a data collection technique should consider how the data will be collected and how the data can be interpreted and used effectively. So if we choose the data and then how the data will be collected, also how the data can be interpreted, how do we understand, how do we explain, it's interpreted. Also, how to use the effectively. This is mapping. And next, key step 2, data collection method, analyze the result. When the data has been collected and all steps have been taken to ensure accuracy, it is important to analyze the result. So, okay, identify, mapping, and analyze correctly. And next, observe the relationship between data points. If we collect the data and then there are many relations between the groups, between the data. Once the analysis is complete, it is possible to see how the data is related to each other and determine the answers to any question posed by the data. If we collect the data and next mapping and analyze the result, and then observe the relationship with between the data. By understanding the relationship between different data points and the trends, they indicate effective decision can be made. It means I said that how do we make the decision making by rational. So effectively decision making is follow the rational or not. So identify, mapping, analyze, observing. And the last key step to make effective using a data collection method is communicating your findings. It means share the result, findings, output. Lastly, it is essential to effectively communicate the data collection techniques findings. By clearly communicating the result, the gathered insight can be used to resolve real-world problems, make informed decision about the business or organization, or even just learn and better understand how things work. It means you need to share the output, findings, result, communicating. As you know, this class, research and writing. So I think until this week, we'll relay the research, and the next week, how to read writing skills and method. So this is related for communicating your finding. It means communicating or share and publish or writing to public about your findings, result. So how do we make effective using our data collection? First, identify. Mapping. Mapping is processing and analyze the result and observe the data between the data and communicate. Communicate means is sharing, the open. This is 5 steps: data collection, effective method. This picture says method of data collection. First, objective method, subjective method, use of existing record. First, objective method means involves getting actual measurement and observation. For example, direct observation is focus group or something. And the experiment, this is objective method. Subjective method is survey, questionnaire. So subjective method involves the respond providing the data. This is for subjective method. And a third method of data collection is use of existing record. Now it's present data. This involves the use of data collected previously by other persons or organizations. It means it's a formal research, existing record. This is a method of data collection, another map. And also method of data collection is represented by pictures, observation, interview, questionnaire, database observation, also same thing. This thing is, already we reviewed the 7 method data collection techniques. Also, this is for another pictures related data collection. Survey, online tracking, online marketing analytics, subscription and registration data, social media analytics, transaction data tracking, these things is a kind of method. Also, the other picture says data collection method divided two things. Type of data collection, the raw data, or we say this primary data. And we can make the secondary data through the manipulation. This is secondary data. So two types of data collection. One thing is primary data collection. For example, the surveys, interviews, opinion polls. These things is primary data. As we say, this is raw data. And the secondary data collection example is company annual report, sales record, internet information. We can get the first data and then manipulate it. Manipulated means, for example, plus, minus, times, or something. Compare, and then makes a new data. This is secondary data. So company annual report means we are sales everyday record. This is raw data or primary data. And then we collect the data and then we process every data for weekly, monthly, quarterly, and then this is secondary data. Data collection method, two things. One thing is primary data, the other one is secondary data. Also, the other researchers shows these pictures, primary data and secondary data. Primary data example is survey, questionnaire, interview, observation, experimental, focus group is primary data example. And secondary data is, example is literature review. Literature review is formal research already open or communicated or published data. So this is for literature survey is secondary data example. And the government database. Government data is they issues every data, especially we related the interest rate and inflation rate and exchanging rate, lots of data from the government. And then we can use the database. What is the related for gold price and stock price and the exchanging rate? What is the effective between these data? This is government data. This is secondary data by government database. And also commercial database, as we said, is sales record, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly report is commercial database. And the web scraping, we already reviewed the online data and the search engine data. All thing is related to web scraping. Lots of data in there. So the company using the big data and make another promoted products. And continues the type of data. Last time we already reviewed the 6 types of data in statistics and researches. In statistics or marketing research or data science, we have very different type of data. So how do we pick the data types most closely matches the need and goals? If I want to some goals and the need related my research, and then how do we match the most closely data? So there are many businessmen and marketers or data scientists or other professionals works with some kind of data. So all guys should be familiar with the key list of data types. Why? Because of various data classification allowed you can use the measurement and thus to correctly make a decision. Finally, make decision. Why we using the database and some survey, some focus that point is how to we make the correctly decision make data. So first thing is I want to show the quantitative and qualitative data is that. So 6 type of data is quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative data is nominal data and ordinal data. As you know that. The nominal data is gender, woman and man. And hair color, black, brown, or something. And ethnicity, you are Hispanic, Asian, or Indian, or something. It's nominal data, these things. It's this qualitative data. And also the other one is ordinary data. First, second, third. So you can give, I can give some different products. And then can you make the order, your favorite. So this is first thing, second thing, third thing. This is ordinary data. So not numbers, 1 to 3. This is first, second, third. This is ordinary data. Also, letter, grade, ABC. Okay. Gives you the grade. This product is A, this product is B, this product is C. Letter. This is ordinal data. Also, you are very sensitive to ordinal data for your grade report. Transcript. So you got letters A or B or grading. This is ordinal data related qualitative data. And also economic status, so low, medium, high, or something. The economic status is a safety ending or nothing ending, almost very difficult ending for inflation. This is for ordinary data. Also the other side is quantitative data below. There are 2 kinds of that. Discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data is the number of students in a class. How many students in our class? Something. The discrete data. Also the number of workers in a company. How many workers in there? How many officers in a company or something? The number of home runs in the baseball game. These things are quantitative data of also discrete data. And the other side is continuous data is the height of children. And also the square footage of the 2-bedroom house. Square foot. 2 and 2. 2 bathroom, 2 bedroom or something. The speed of cars is a continuous data. It means first, if you buy some cars, some case like the sports car, and sports car is compared how to we reach the 100 miles, how long take time to second. I know there are Bulgars, or something. It's only 2 seconds, 2.6 seconds. And some, as you know, there are Mustang and Corvette. We know some kind of the sports car, and how to we get the 100 miles takes time. So 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 2.5 seconds. This is the speed of cars. It is an example of continuous data. Also, the height of children means, or the weight of children is when you are 8 years old, how long height? and how much the weight, the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. This is continuous data. All thing is quantitative data. There are 6 kind of, or more, 2 kind of type of data is something like that. And these pictures is compare the example of quantitative and qualitative. Very simple. This quantitative is scores on the test of exam. For example, 85 point, 67, 90 point, etc. The weight or height of person, of a subject or children. Shoe size, temperature. These things is quantitative. Qualitative is color, the color of the sea, color of the sky, qualitative. And your favorite holidays, Hawaii and New Zealand. What is your trip plan? And the name of the John, or Patricia, Robert, Richard, it is qualitative. Ethnicity such as American Indian, Asian, Hispanic, etc. is qualitative. Also, the other pictures is compare the nominal and ordinal data. I say that. Nominal data is used for labeling variables without any type of quantitative. The name of nominal comes from the Latin word nomen, which means is name. This is nominal, name. Example is gender, is nominal. Hair color, marital status, you are married or single or widow, come back or something. Come back single or something like that. It is a marital status. Ethnicity. These things is a nominal data. Ordinal data is the data which is placed into some kind of order by their position on a scale. Example is the first, the second, the third person in a competition. Letter grade, as I said, grade system. A, April, A minus, P, people, P minus. And also the company asks to customers to rate of the scales experience on a scale of 1 to 10. Last time I talked the scale. How do we compare the height and the weight? Absolutely different scale. Height is inch or some feet, something. Height, no feet, no feet. And weight is kilogram and pound. This is exactly different. How do we compare between the height and the weight? Because there are different scale. At this time, we give some special scale. Something like that. 1, 2, 3. This is 3-point scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5-point scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is ordinal. Because what the reason? It's point, middle point. But 1 to 10 is very excellent, very full. This thing is also you can use the scale. So, how do we compare the different scale, height and weight? This thing. Height. We are among 10 children, 10 students. And height, 1, 2, 3, make 1, 3, 2, 3 is the ordinal. And also weight, who is 10 students, number 10 students, very high weight. And 7, 8, 5 students, something. The Richard and Charlie weighted ordinal, also height make ordered, and then compare. It means it unifies the scale. There are many developed methods. Also, we have said the economic status is low, medium, or high. Something like that. This is very individual subject. Also, last time I talked to you the descriptive and discrete versus continuous data. Same thing. This is continuous data. John is highest, and Richard is second. But Donald is third time. This is continuous. Discrete is the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is count. And continue the primary and secondary data. We did. Normal and ordinal data is normal data, nominal data, and ordinal data. So nominal data is example is gender, hair color, marital status, aesthetics is nominal, and ordinal data is the first, second, third in the competition, and grade system, economic status. These things is for ordinal data, and discrete versus continuous data. This one. This discrete data is the count that involves only integer. Discrete values can be the subsidiary into the part. It means it's separate. For example, number of the children in a class is discrete data. So that's why you can count all individuals. Oh, we are 7 students, 15 students. You cannot count 1.5 because how can? This is discrete data. The example of the discrete data is the number of the students in a class, or the number of workers in a company, the number of home runs in baseball game, the number of test questions you answered correctly. This is for discrete data. And the continuous data is It's the information that could be meaningfully divided into final levels. It can be measured on a scale or continuum and can have almost any numerical value. For example, the amount of the time required to complete the project. If I give some project to the homework, and then how many times you take the time. The height of children, the weight of children, the square footage of the 2-bedroom house, 2-bedroom square footage, 2-bedroom, something. The speed of cars. These things continuous data. Okay. Now I make the conclusion of the data style. All the different type of data have the critical place in the statistics, researches, and data science. So you are very careful decide or choose the data collection types because of very critical in statistics, research, and data science. So data types works great together to help organization and business from all industries build successful data-driven decision-making process. I would say the point is the decision-making correctly. So working in the data management and having a good range of data science skills involves a deep understanding of various types of data and when to apply that. If you are looking to enhance your data analysis skills, take the best data science courses online can provide you with a solid foundation in understanding these essential data types. They are widely open in the online. How do we make them? So nowadays, the issues is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is another problem or homework or think area for students and also teachers. So nowadays, just I read the report. If I give some projects to the students, very easy to get an output in the ChatGPT. They charge only $16, or the free ChatGPT version 3 is free. But the ChatGPT version 4 is $16 per month. And then they are more powerful output in this very quickly. At the same time, I getting the output. So teachers or professors or researchers, very difficult time to how to distinguish this is creative or by using by the ChatGPT. So some researchers, they are working to how to distinguish that this is the ChatGPT, using the ChatGPT or not. So they are very secret processing, and then the some software gives the students give to only teachers and professors. So the students can used ChatGPT or not, they can check it, but it's a little bit takes time to develop the skills. It is another thing. Anyway, nowadays it's very difficult time to teaching or research everything. Okay, I have a 3-page more to things. Next week I finish the data collection tools, best tools, and I introduce these things next week. Okay, this is all thing to